The Reservoir High School Technology Education Program is a phenomenal program that really offers all students the opportunity and experience to dive into real world application and problem solving. One of the things that you mentioned was reverse engineering. That's just kind of a little taste of a project that we do within our graduation required foundations level course, which is Foundations of Technology, which most students who come through high school take to meet their tech ed graduation requirement for the state of Maryland. That's a phenomenal course that typically opens the doorway for students to take some of our other courses, such as advanced design applications, advanced technological applications, engineering design, and those are just the courses that aren't included within the Project Lead the Way Pre-Engineering Academy. Those courses are really meant to push students or prepare students for the engineering field and pursuing an engineering degree at higher levels of education. Our students do everything from design a community from start to finish, where we show them every aspect of the process from the reverse engineering simple products, as you heard about within the Foundations course, to using CAD programs such as Autodesk Inventor or SketchUp to design and create items of their own unique creation. Our head custodian here during the day, our day chief, Mr. Monroe Graham, one of his colleagues came to him and said, "Mr. Graham, the parts on our stand-up floor buffers have been discontinued. We may have to start purchasing new machines, so that's something that we're going to have to think about and plan for as we move forward with custodial services and planning for the various resources and needs at each school." And Mr. Graham, he kind of put two and two together and said to his colleague, I think our tech ed program at Reservoir High School might be able to help with this.
The situation was we have a buffer, stand-up buffer that we were using, and the handles, these handles here, had broke. Well, when I called our service manager to come, maintenance guy to come in to look at them, we got to talking, and he said that he's running out of these things because the company that makes the buffer itself stopped making them. Evidently, either because they were breaking too often, or they said that they were going to redo the piece of equipment. Well, he told me that because it was just this piece that broke, that they would have to buy a new piece of equipment just for these pieces. And I said, well, that's kind of crazy. I said, it's just something plastic like this, and they're going to change and make you buy a whole piece? He said, yeah, that's pretty much how it is. And I said, well, we have a 3D printer at our school, and I can talk to the teachers and the techs and see if they can, make it up.
It started last year one day when Mr. Wally, one of the tech teachers here at Reservoir, approached me about a part for, well, actually 3 parts specifically, to make for the floor buffer. And the backstory on this is there are 2 kinds of floor buffers that Howard County uses at all the schools. And so basically the parts that I was creating, the company that created them, they were being discontinued. And so what that would mean is when the supply of those parts ran out, all those floor buffers at all the Howard County public schools would basically be useless. He asked me to take a dial caliper and these parts, these replacement parts, and fabricate them in a CAD program that is taught at Reservoir, Autodesk Inventor. And so basically I went about doing so. It took a while because of how much time and effort went into making sure all the measurements were precise, making sure the angles were precise. I showed them to Mr. Wally. He printed them out and then told me to kind of shore up and strengthen certain areas. And the reason he had me do this is on the replacement parts that were being that had been previously made by the company that were now discontinued. Those points were where they usually failed.
And they was able to come up with a piece that was actually identical and even better than the piece that came from the manufacturer. And the reason I say it's better is because this is the manufacturing part, and this is the part that was made. Thicker all the way through. It's not hollow, and it's very, very durable. Very durable. I have them on the buffer now, as you saw, and they're perfect. I don't have any. Matter of fact, we changed them, and we've gone through 2 pairs of these, and we still have a backup for the white ones that haven't broke yet at all. And they made enough of them, so now they keep them on their service truck, and they go around to different schools of the county, and replaces the part that they needed instead of buying new equipment.
The discontinuation of those parts would have ultimately forced the county to purchase new machines, which with what we did with Christian, they haven't had to do that, meaning the county is not only saving a lot of money, but we're still able to keep the schools nice and clean and beautiful for all our students, and it allowed us to give a real-world experience to one of our students, which is what we try and do in all aspects within our classes. Real-world experience and application, that's what we need to prepare our students for, and that's really what the design process and the engineering design process for problem solving is, and that's what we focus on through our whole program.